little bit, they rebuild with some newer faces, and this Passion UA side, sticking to their Ukrainian roots, have decided to drop in some very experienced names. You know, we were having the discussion with Kvem, obviously, recently at Drillers. We have Demka, that had a lot of time on Monty, and even, you know, at Tier 1 events there. You have Warrow, who has been around the block for so long. And now you've got the experience. You look at JiJieHao and, well, you know, I kind of said to you that this is a side that kind of will fall under everyone's radars because they're in a very malnourished ecosystem within Counter-Strike. Obviously, one of those Middle Eastern teams. You don't see many of them. But they are probably the best of the bunch, right? You have Boros in there. Osimus is the most recent addition. Issa, Bibu, Mini. But enough blabbing from me. We're into the pistol on D2. Demka, Kvem, both with kills.
Yeah, and as you're listing off the JiJieHao players, they're finding themselves on the wrong side of the kill feed. 4 versus 3 situation, still stable. Quick rotation made by JiJieHao means that he's flanking the double doors almost immediately. Krem's done his job staving off the push for a little longer, but Warrow's made a mess of it. That was the opportunity. It was him, not JiJieHao, excuse me, who found himself in a strong position. And now Topa, the IGL elect, is trying to force them the opposite way, but takes so much damage in the process. This is an incredibly cagey pistol from what initially looked like an affair which would have put Passion right in front to kick off Dust2. Topa has hit a nice shot out of left field to recover at least something, but Bibu's got the bomb and plenty of space to run into. Not too much time though, 30 seconds.
Through the flash and trying to psych out a rotate from JiJieHao, but the USP still jiggling. Now he pulls the trigger. He hears the steps running away. Well, he's off towards B. I will reclaim A. It's a freebie. It's a plant. You could even sink it in the corner and go play for long if he wanted to. Just clearing close sight. Doesn't elect for the pit play. Instead, sets it down in the heart of the site. And now, lets JiJieHao know exactly what's going on his end as well. Fight towards CT. Doesn't break out just yet. But JiJieHao closing the gap.
Bibu just waiting for contact to be hit. JiJieHao wrapping around ramp with the USP in hand. Now he's spotted the target, but it's Bibu that gets the first bit of damage in. JiJieHao licks him back. A shot through the corner of the box hits him square in the eyes. And so the pistol has been recovered by Passion UA. It did get messy, but they will find it nonetheless.
Looking over his body. Good start for the Passion UA side. A bit of a cagey end, as you said. You know, the fact that things got so out of hand. The flank was the neutralizer in it all, or at least that's how it seemed. And then the door swung back open. 1v1 doesn't go their way. And now a tactical timeout used immediately by the CT side.
Yeah, and I don't hate this. I think Passion understand that that round didn't come on the terms that they would have hoped for. Warrow is playing to contain there. He doesn't have to peek. It was a decision which he made to try and feast off the distraction that the rest of his team had created by pressuring long from the CT side of the map. And even in the clutch there as well, a bit of a gamble taken on which side of the map the plant was going to come in. I'm the sort of player that always likes to stick towards the site that you're closest to at that point in time. Just make sure you have a more preferential angle, but there's a reason why they get paid and I don't. So, Fem blocking the smoke early, trying to be a nuisance towards lower tunnels, and playing in the rest of his team. There are 2 players on short right now. Passion don't have any presence on the B site itself. Middle is where their focus lies, as can be said for JiJieHao as well, as the rifles that they had bought into this have already been dropped.
Third kill comes in.
And that was
still
the last
no
of them.
casualties. Yeah. Deeg, P2. Smoke drops. Scoop up a Galil. Forgetting about the bomb though. Here's Osimus. Collect Waro, so some more damage being done as the AK falls in his hands. 2 on 4, 50 seconds, there's still plenty of time. It's just the retrieval mission of the bomb is the most critical, and then where they go with it is the even bigger question.
This should be a Passion UA double up. Summers. Spawn doubled up now with Issa, the IGL of this team. JiJieHao currently ranked 40th in the world, but you know, Krem will himself be familiar with these guys, as they would have played in the same qualifier to the RMR with Drillers, as you remember. For some, controversially, that was the route that they took to make it to the Shanghai Major RMR. So there's a little bit of history here in that sense. But now Krem, of course, being in the side for the last 6 months alongside Topa means that they're not exactly new to the outfit anymore. In fact, the same Passion side which went to Shanghai made it to the main event has been picked apart at this point in time. Plenty of Ukrainian talents bursting onto the scene. No, with Fear, Jambo went to Fnatic. That same Fnatic, which were dropped along the way for Passion to win Glitched Masters not too long ago. First trophy for the team. All is well that ends well, I suppose. It's ultimately the question we're asking here, right? How do they do without some of those bigger names that had the name for themselves, I suppose? Well, they've got Waro now, and the 2K in his name means exactly what you think it does. 2 kills from him still isn't enough. Passion down to their last couple of players on what becomes a B retake.
Letting this one slip a little bit. Not even an investment made by JiJieHao. They had a couple of upgraded weapons. This Osimus obviously saving from the last round. The rest of them, blanket eco. And now they might just convert dirt into gold, it feels like, because this round had nothing. And they might just walk away with everything. It's a whiff from Boros. And he gets hounded down because of it. Flashes are in, Bibu blind, Mini caught out behind Big Box. It's on the Spam has to activate, and it will not. Kit is there, Topa defuses, there is enough time. And unfortunately, there is no gold for JiJieHao, just a silver medal for coming second in round number 3.
Boros, we need to have words, fella. He was in the position to win the whole round for JiJieHao. He takes 1 kill there. It suddenly becomes a 3v1. And the last Passion player left, I didn't catch to see who it was. It has a flank to worry about, plus the 2 players on site. But instead, the Kit stays standing on Topa, flashed in, and it's a clean-up job. So frustrating, especially from someone like him as well, who, at the moment, does sit at the top of JiJieHao's player performances. Highest rated for a reason. He has dispensed of Waro 2K this time. But Demka's AWP still floats behind the smoke. Topa doesn't. He's the next to go.
Molly denying the entry, minute 15, player down. And the HP starting to look a little better now. Demka caught in the middle, back turn of them, trying to fight behind that smoke. Boros has read into it. Jacasmo 1v3, already clipped the wing to the first, looking for the second, battling, headshot height. but will not draw any further blood. Just lets it supplant. BB to support from the car position.
And not wanting to overstay his welcome on that angle either. JiJieHao know that there's a limited number of ways of which JiCasmo can play this, and the majority of them stem from CT spawn. A slow reprisal, and as soon as Issa takes contact, Bibu is ready to fly out of the car. Issa can do it alone, as can JiJieHao. That is their first in this series.
First on the board. And even though the first 3 rounds fall in Shinjui's way, they are putting together their scrimpings to invest. A Scout, 2 M4s, a Deeg and a 5.7. A very top-heavy investment.
The first on a short list of Passion players to get taken out, which could have been growing had JiCasmo not put in extra things for Boros. Demka expected, deleted, and with numbers restored to JiJieHao's favour, start looking towards a awkward cross for Bibu to try and make, but the spam does eventually connect through the wall, meaning it has to be JiCasmo yet again. Does have the rifle, and does have JiJieHao caught in an awkward position as the footsteps tail off. It's his chance to take the timing.
Moves in. First player spotted, but Issa gets the better of the rifleman. 3-2. JiJieHao bounce back with another. And just for a quick reflection of the veto, we kind of sped through it in the pre-show. Obviously, yes, it is a BO3, but top down just quickly. JiJieHao picked D2, Passion UA picked Mirage, Train are decider. So, in terms of, you know, as it lays effectively in the series, a conventional one would mean that JiJieHao pick up this first map, and obviously Passion UA then move on to a bigger strength in Mirage. See if they can do any more damage. Maybe not so much in this round though. USPs, 3 of them. Couple of Deegs. Yet again, these rogue investments, leaving a couple players short change. The likes of Waro and JiCasmo will definitely be without head armor and utility in the next investment. Mid contact made, it's a stack towards B, but unfortunately, the T side looked to pivot A.
Yeah, I remember the Waro Deeg. I don't know about you. Not expecting to see it in this round, though, probably, just because of the way that JiJieHao are placed, the way that the chips fall. And there's little worth saving on Passion's side either. They'll be hunting for exits. They'll be lucky to get them. It gives us a moment to speak about both of these teams, where they find themselves. Passion 32nd globally through VRS. I would say probably a fair placement of them, but they will be looking to move that number, of course. JiJieHao 40th. Perhaps a little bit more representative, however, of their impact on CS, just in MENA, but the European scene as a whole, of course. That's ultimately who you're contending with now for spots, invites to the big events in the calendar.
So we are all tied up after 6, Harry. Talk about competition. One of the bigger ones that both of these squads will play in for this year. A chance at Pro League doesn't come about every day. And the first 6 rounds. A glimpse into this series, but a respectable start for both sides. We'll see how things develop now. More rifles are being put into action. Mid-take yet again, employed by JiJieHao. Not giving up anything towards B, but long controlled by the Passion UA side. So you will start to see these pieces move about a little bit more for the CT side soon.
Yeah, that's if JiJieHao can force a reaction out of them. Because right now, the CT protocol of holding the space that they've got seems to be quite alright. Woro loves this position. Right on the other side of mid doors. Issa should be careful enough to clear it. It was a second guess, but still, on that attempt, he'll get the kill. Fire at the feet of Boros means that he's softened up quite quickly. Put through the tenderizer of the MP9, and JiJieHao are now out of options. Demka right through middle means that B is the only way left to go, as JiJieHao are forced to walk the plank. It's JiCasmo there to greet them on the other side. 4-3, the one-round game continues, but this time it's Passion in front.
Yeah, as you say, Woro sat in that same position, always, it seems like, towards that right-hand side of the doors, gets caught out. You thought that was going to be the linchpin to this whole play. They would scoop up middle, maybe even have a look at some success towards B, and then all of a sudden it comes crumbling down. Woro, the HE, blocks his vision entirely. Would not have seen all 3 players stacked up towards that mid-peak position. Player jumps by top mid, baits the shot brilliantly. Woro forced to pull the trigger, hoping that he'd be able to catch off the AWP on the counter.
The first 30 seconds or so of this round are just spent prying mid-control from the hands of Passion UA. JiJieHao, they've been walking, swimming upstream. Now with Boros placed in short, you can tell that this is inclined towards an A split, but the long players need to get out first through the double doors. So the placement of the molly towards short from the hands of Topa is pretty well timed. Woro is on the angle. The flash will do nothing to stop him. Smoke placed at his back. Additional cover from the opposite end of the push, which is now starting to arrive on the scene. Boros at the double, 2 from the edge of that smoke into third. All eyes on Boros. He has made miracles happen and parted the A site control for JiJieHao as JiCasmo has managed to fell the bomb and remove B-boot as well, but that's it, 4-4. It all happened off screen, but Boros, I mean, I would love to have seen a replay of that. It's just one man doing it all.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere, right? Checked into the short angle, edge of the smoke. 1, understandable. 2, a bit overkill. 3, just kills the round dead. 1v2, jumps into spawn as well. Like, just wanting to get in the grill of this Passion UA side. I know this is their pick, this is their chance to make a statement. Good start. Boros, a lot of damage. It's Kvem's D. Second frag, okay, a bit shaky from Boros. Can't hit the shots, a dink even onto Mini as well. It's a 2-on-3. Likely candidates with poor weaponry step up equally. An AK falls into the hands of Woro 2K as well, so there is layers to this defense, and I'm wondering, does he take the gamble and attempt this round, or does he think the save is better for his team?
Bomb has been planted.
When you get to this point in a round, you would give yourself half a chance. As the smoke is replenished, Woro starts to think better of it, hoping that JiJieHao will run out of utility. Bibu has peeked through said smoke, and that keeps him interested for a little longer, but there is no kit on this CT side, and so there shall be no chance of recovery. Speaking of, Demka has been able to collect an AK as well, so upgrades as far as the CT side are concerned. A promising conclusion to the round for them. Despite the fact they will not be able to add it to their tally, it's JiJieHao that have the lead now.
Back and forth. That's what we saw on the last outing on D2 as well. Our previous series contained a lot of drama, especially towards the end. This game is teeing up to be identical to it. Molly towards lower, pushed back. HE towards upper, Passion UA just trying to box this T side in. A second nade doing a little more damage. Two players set down to 70, all to the benefit of those three M4s. No matter the variety, it is about 90 to the head, so players being at 70 points of health is quite the ideal situation. Waro yet again playing behind those doors, but so much more success from that spot. Drops a smoke in as well. Issa Waro tries to catch him by surprise on the other side. Gifted a free frag. The numbers still lie very much in the court of the defense.
At this point, JiJieHao needs to be nade stacking the corner.
Yeah.
Finding some way to flush Waro out, because it's another round where he takes 2k, 2 kills, and a 4 versus 3.
As you say, the 2K is becoming quite too literal.
Yeah,
for Waro.
I mean, soon, I think the next rebrand is Waro Mid-Doors 2K.
Yeah,
maybe that's his middle name at this point.
He's just got the tenancy agreement for that particular spot.
I would have to check Liquipedia to see if that is actually his government-given name, but there you go. It will end 5-5. That is it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
JiJieHao want nothing to do with the rest of this. Their plans foiled and cut short. A late probe of Demka towards a long as well meant that Passion would have had any kind of heads up on a meaningful attempt at favouring the T side there. So tactical timeout called. Extra 30 seconds just to think through what this next best investment looks like.
It's not a bad one. You still got the AWP, you still got rifles. Of course, it's tricky to work around when some people save and some people don't, but this late in the half, you don't really feel that financial repercussion as much. See if this investment has a leg to stand on, or if it is just going to be a dry cut round for Passion UA. Stacks of util. AK brought forward as well in the hands of Demka. Our penultimate of the first half to see if the lead can remain. Waro holds the angle. Already the AWP out of the equation.
King of middle. And it looks like he wants to push the boat out and expand his empire. Waro searching for a player peeking through the lower tunnels, but still yet to be gifted that response. JiJieHao have to be careful. Their next move in this round would very well decide their fate in the half. Hunting for a lead, and Waro through the wall, I think dealt a little bit of damage there. Onto Boros as well. The bomb comes in for good measure. Osamas has responded in the end. Retaliation is the name of the game for JiJieHao as they continue to trail in numbers, and one by one they continue to fall. Kvem entertaining it through the gap. Issa giving lead back in the direction of Passion. All of a sudden it's broken out 2-on-2. The peek from short is well timed. Demka to control it all. Nothing getting past him, but Issa slips the net somehow. The next most difficult task is JiJieHao. And if the pre-fire had been any good, maybe there was a chance, but it is 6-5 after all. And Passion are the ones with a chance to give themselves an advantage on the half.
I'm hoping that that's a little slap in the face for Passion UA. A little bit, you know, cold water on the face moment where you need to wake up and come to your senses a little better, because 2v4, they just give 2 freebies to Issa. No real structure as to why you're doing it. No real reason to do it in the first place. You just send it in, you give up 2 guns. A disappointing end. Demka aggressive in middle. HG lands on the feet. One Bibu, the rifle dropped to the other. Topa from top mid. It's looking strong, it's looking solid. And maybe that is Passion UA turning up the heat a little bit. We've had too much messing around, a little bit too much fun in the last round. We cripple them in round 12 and give ourselves a sizable lead heading into the second half. It's 7-5 to Passion UA.
And we are back just in time for the second half of Passion UA versus JiJieHao. It's the Ukrainian side which lead by a manner of 2 rounds as we were going to swap over the sides. I'd say, Ryan, it was a pretty nice comeback from them as the half went on. I mean, they started strong. There was a bit of a dip in the middle, but it looked good by the end. A strong read on which areas of the map JiJieHao were not willing to fight for in numbers. They're just going to group up as 5 and run it A.
Yeah, I mean, Passion UA, good turnaround of events at the end of the first half. You have to start strong on the T side as well to really bury the hatchet of your opponent's pick. Waro punching in those 7 digits, gets that bottom down. Now retake. What JiJieHao made of on their CT side? Osimus not made of much, at least no head Kevlar leaves him at 9 points of health. Boros forced to watch from his teammates' perspective. It's a quick drop and a quick dismissal and even more help from the CT side. They are clawing back in numbers, but they are losing out in the HP fight drastically. Stevie last standing, and it is all yellow paint in the kill feed. Up to 8 of the Passion UA side.
Exactly the kind of start that Passion would have been looking for. You look at this series as a whole, Dust2 is the map pick of JiJieHao. An important reminder to make as we head to Mirage next and train if required. Passion came in as favourites, closing their opponent's pick. Something with a little bit more nuance, like Dust2, definitely helps you out. Mirage is a different conversation, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, the CTs have forced into this. Kvem's in an awkward position. Other side of the box, Boros looks away, and Kvem finds the timing that he was looking for. Nothing awkward about it. It's clear cut. Topa scalping 2 on short. And that should be it for JiJieHao here. No reason to plunge any deeper into those investments. Send the scout an MP9 where the sun don't shine. That bomb's going down on A and there's nothing they can do about it.
Switch of the guns. JiJieHao goes hunting.
I like this.
They know where the scout is. Now they know where the MP9 is. Fish in a barrel. They go hunting. They want blood. They will get it. Demka nicks one away, but it's still money in the bank. JiJieHao $600 richer. And 9 on the board for Passion UA. Making light work at the start of this second half. Toughest battle coming up shortly. Not so much in this one as it will be in Eco, but the last leg for JiJieHao to stand on here on Dust2 will be that investment in round 16.
Yeah, it's smart play from Passion to just go chase down those remaining weapons, especially with the money maker the Mag-10 can be. JiJieHao still holding on to it. Finds himself at the back of the set of Passion players. Nice shot of Summers. But is there any more to get excited about here? Once was brilliant, twice far-fetched. Kvem has removed him from the situation. The CT stack of players behind the smoke would be problematic if they weren't towering over one another's heads. You spray in the smoke, you get rewarded. Passion up to 10.
Three more to go, as I said. You feel like this one is the pivotal point in this map. Don't win this, 11-5 down, you got no money. And actually, no real chance. At least on D2. Control scoots up. As Passion UA turn their attention more towards middle. Wall boost on short. Mini turned away. Takes a bit of damage for it. Just needed to commit to one angle. Was scared of the mid push. looks away a little too quick now. Plan B, they try and get full control, more bodies on the line. And they have kind of given up everything in middle by doing so.
Yeah, has thrown a bit of a question into the mix. And with JiJieHao starting to probe away at double doors, they've travelled the length of long, and if Passion don't make their move in the next 5 seconds, there's half a chance that they get caught on the flank. The bomb carrier Kvem has made his way to safety, but that safety is an illusion, a fading one. JiJieHao on the reclear. Perfect timing, spots Osama's, but draws his blade a little too soon. Waro already breaking out onto the B site. It's Bibu to hold it down. Osama's spraying away to just support his teammate and has done more than enough. Over-delivering again, Osama, and this time it counts for the round.
In. A 4-round deficit still to be chipped away at for JiJieHao. Opportunities presented. Maybe those doors weren't open before. Waro happy to play a bit more close range with the big green. We saw a lot of long fights and doors holds on the CT side, playing very passive, sort of turreting up with the big green. This half being on the attack, I guess, wants a little more say in what moves are made and the effectiveness that he wants to have in these rounds. Nice molly from Topa, one to learn at home, that lineup. Just blocks off the corner so people can't stand round on the ledge and catch you off. Not that it's going to be of any significance in this round because there's 4 bodies outside B.
So, to Bibu, we look again.
Oh.
And we are made to wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, not just yet.
Boris still supporting, but time dragging on down. That resource is wearing thin for Passion. They only get 1 go at this, and if it goes wrong, then that's it. The round is over. Topa finding a kill through mid-doors, though, and playing anti-flash as well means he was perfectly prepared for Boros. It's Waro instead that takes the kill. The push heading towards the ace side, and Mini hitting ridiculous flicks. Time is low, bomb is dropped. I don't think there's enough to punch in the code, and there won't be. Well, they have to find the final kill, and it's right at the buzzer, but it's JiJieHao that win the round.
That's so close.
Just had to double, triple check as to who is it exactly that actually bagged that one. Barely half a second in it.
Just had to commit to the swing.
The only way to do it.
If you die, the round doesn't change. If you get the kill, it would have looked a little prettier on the scoreline at the top middle. This one starts with a bit of a bang though. Boros tagged up to 8 points of health. Hello?
Okay.
It might be worth when playing Counter-Strike to open your eyes sometimes, Boros. That is shocking, to be honest with you. Mini, quick move, straight into the peak, takes the shot, wins the fight, but it is a 3v3. And the B bomb site, I was going to say under-repped, but it's not. It's the opposite. In fact, the Orcs on the cross, they've got an MP9 up close. And while the mid-hold questionable, the B-hold looks to be strong. The MP9 is still not even discovered in all of this. Eventually, Topa goes clearing. And now, the round is chucked back up into the air. There's a flash from tunnels. Nobody's holding it. And Demka left 1v2. Just jumps through the smoke. What is this round?
There's an extra smoke, and from the bounce, I mean, Demka knows it's hit Osama in the head. Waiting for the CT to take that peek. Just holding on from Car. With bated breath, he waits. As Passion could be on for an 11th here through Demka. But Samas turns his back to the situation and starts to think with such a weight. He might have moved elsewhere in the 1v1, but the bomb goes down and the jump up from Demka is left unpunished. Samas just can't find the shots. But Demka certainly can. Passion one step closer.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot to unpack in that round, Harry.
Yeah, I think
Boros sleeping at the wheel with the mid-peak from Waro after getting tagged up.
even from that point, one of the most poignant things for me was Passion taking those extra seconds to calibrate.
Yeah.
Finish beat, allowed the rotation to come in. Pistols here, that is an A case safely in the hands of the CTs.
Go B, go B. Well, you can't really. You've got no control. It's going to have to be a mid-play. It's one of those where if everyone's on long, I mean, obviously, not everyone. There is one defender on the other side of the map. Manages to take up the space where you know that the CT side isn't. And that duty palmed off to Kvem. Passes with flying colours. Waro turreting in. Bomb dropped outside B. And now the Rifleman left alone out in middle. Osimus to close. 8 on the board for JiJieHao. I mean, yeah, just it's unfortunate if the bomb isn't left long there, if it's left maybe towards B or even in the pocket of someone in middle. But you definitely just explode elsewhere on the map. You just brute force take middle. You can pinch B. You could even just send it up short or try and do something different. You just got to throw them on a win because the CT side will then scramble. They had nothing to worry about. There was no pressure from Passion UA. They just had to let the doors close on them. Whoa.
All right, Topa.
Nice shot.
We've seen the same from a Samus before, and that didn't mean all too much. One shot can change the round, but nothing guaranteed from this position. Passion know that all too well with their round count, 11. A couple away and then find themselves held right at the gate. Demka still has plenty of nades as Krem can match him with a smoke. So there's just enough left in this Passion side to muster up one last effort in the final 50 seconds of round number 20. This for map point on their opponent's pick, and just 2 players towards A. 2 players B. Whatever JiJieHao try and do, they will be outmatched in numbers, but not in firepower. They still have rifles, and one of them is Mini's AWP. Has not missed a beat so far. And from long, he's called over towards the site as the push comes through.
So holds on, or at least tries to. Kvem gets the trade, 20 seconds left, out on long comes the Deeg. But there is some conviction to this round, and that is the site take to a success. Topa, last player standing, Mini quick to dismiss with the A1S. It is now 9 on the board for JiJieHao.
Passion 2 rounds away, and JiJieHao the same margin from bringing us to a tied game. We've just seen Passion make a bit of a half buy, I suppose. A couple of investments, and still here, it's almost a full save that they have to go for. A couple of deegs, and that's about it. So the reality is, there's only one more buy, 2 at a stretch left in them here before JiJieHao are in prime position to snatch this one right underneath them. Already seen a couple of kills. Bibu finding the next onto Topa. It was 4 on 4, but now Passion looking a little bit weaker And they'll continue to as Osamas fires into that smoke and thins out the herd. Ryan, we know that in the first half, as I said, there was a dip in the middle, but Passion again look to be slipping away at this point.
Yeah. Way back in. You've had a couple of chances now. And it just ain't happening, sir. They try and try again. Yes, that was a half buy. But this one, imperative, to be honest, to the whole map. 5 AKs. There's no warp in the hands of Waro. There's nothing special about this investment. It's 5 AKs, 5 sets of util, and 5 players that dream of not having to go the distance in this series. They get their comfort pick next. I think they'd love nothing more than an early night's kit getting ready to prep for stage 2. HE on the money for them, basically walking onto a landmine there.
Essentially. Still 46 points of health. He can take a bullet to the chest, provided it doesn't come from Mini's AWP, of course. Time running out for Passion. Yeah, that feels to be the main narrative of this second half as the T side has ground down to a halt. The smoke that floods towards CT threatens the possibility of a Passion player bailing from the ship, stomping on the heads of Ibu in spawn like a Goomba, but it's not going to happen. We've reached the 40-second mark. Still no move made, no clues as to where Passion could be heading, and we know that they changed out their IGL, but Topa's had his time to make his mark on this side. Can he call the play for them here that takes them up to 12? Rem has led the line at the very least. It's Topa instead who takes matters into his own hands to distract the A play. It's every man for himself on the JiJieHao side as they are split up and separated. The bomb goes down on B as the path has been cleared. Passion taking the next step towards that Stockholm run as 12 rounds now has finally hit the scoreboard for them.
Yeah, I think time has been everyone's kryptonite on D2, but it's nice to see that Passion UA come at this with a little more conviction and a little more pace. Look at that for a long spawn, by the way. I have no doubt that Passion UA will be going, what the hell, guys, we need to get out here. We need to use this spawn somehow. Topa's just in awe of a spawn like this. Usually, if you're maybe not a massive fan of D2, join the club, but you don't really get all 5 players on this side of the map. Maybe a couple, you know, max 3, 4. The rare occasion that there is 5, you just beat everyone to this long angle, and I have no doubt Waro's probably looking at Topa like, JiJieHao, buy a couple flashes. Topa, chuck him your flash. Let's just flood things out of long, blind anyone there, and we just take this space. Surely that's the play here.
It seems so. A bit of an intermission. It's a pretty helpful one, and as you can see, Passion immediately trying to burst into the A space. Mini on the other side. Wants for the no-scope. Osamas doesn't need one of those because he just blind fires through the smoke and gets exactly what he needs. It's Mini on the receiving end of Waro's shots. So that is the AWP felled, and Topa again creating chaos. Out through mid doors, he's made his mark. And that has definitely softened the blow of this A-hole. The summer still drifting out beyond the smoke. It's ill-advised. Straight into the open arms of 2 Passion players who have now put themselves on the path to an opening map win. JiJieHao going up in smoke after what felt like the kind of comeback that you could see completed. Bibu, the player at the foot of the server, has to find the results, and it's just not possible. 13-10, Passion start as they mean to go on. The first map in the series is theirs, selected by JiJieHao and executed by Passion.
Very nicely done. Get there in the end. We thought it was going to be an uphill battle, and at some points there is definite proof of that.
Welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 2022 closed qualifier. I don't know why I said 2022. I just feel as if I wanted to travel back in time, be a little bit nostalgic. And while we are in that mindset, Ryan, we can put to the back of our minds Dust2. Passion are 1 up. That was the pick of JiJieHao. And now we go to home turf as far as they're concerned. Mirage and the T side.
Indeed, we are back to where we began our day, Harry, and a start that is valuable to Topa. 2 quick kills for Passion UA, probably feeling quite good about the A site being taken. Bomb planted towards the default, or the triple position, excuse me. The CT possession is there. The flash is good, but the kill's even better. Boros is low. Mini and Bibu already wiped out of the equation. And that is a fantastic start for Passion UA.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Passion kicking this one off with another pistol round. If I'm not mistaken, that would be their 3rd already in this series, winning both on Dust2. And picking up the first here as well on Mirage. I have to say, the fact that the previous map got as close as it did with both pistols is a testament to how JiJieHao have performed. No less on their ecos. This one just a couple of P250s.
Yeah, shouldn't be much of a struggle this round for Passion UA, but you are right, there has always been some grit in this CT side. Kvem ordered to shoot on sight towards Connector. Waro there to support. 2 kills. Osimus also buried. Issa playing the ladder room spot. Oh, there's a Zeus in the mix, and the second with PvP. It will eventually be neutralized, but that's a little scary, isn't it? That the round started as wonky as that, or at least the push towards short was as wonky as that. The rest of the round has been pretty smooth sailing. They're just waiting to see if they can find Mini before someone getting tasered again.
And you're never hunting the HUD for that one at the start of the round. You take stock of what the teams have got in pocket. I don't think Passion were expecting that one to happen to them so soon either, but doesn't matter. Out of the round with the majority of the rifles that they invested at the outset. Big opportunity to make this bonus stick and make it sting for JiJieHao, because the longer that they go without a round in this map, knowing that they're trailing the series, things can start to get a little desperate. So just that initial peak. It's the mid-ball that breaks out first. Demka and JiJieHao both finding theirs. Man advantage, Passion, and Kvem is boring so far out on site. Flashed up is Boros, dead now. Issa gets one back. All flames at the feet, and the HE's perfect. Kvem capitalizing from it. Only Bibu remains. 2 tagged players, but Topa is healthy. Bibu certainly isn't anymore.
Yet again, a convincing round just planted on the A site. Bibu plays to run and hide. Simple stuff will be a third converted Kven. Caught with gun in hand, well, transitioning to gun in hand. Doesn't change the outcome of the round, and Bibu, I don't think will be hunted further. So, one surviving CT player.
Terrorists win.
There's 3 on the bounce for Passion UA.
JiJieHao, on the other hand, still can't move the needle. Bibu holding on to the AK will, of course, improve their chances at finding that first round. But we saw how much it can damage your chances earlier in the day, that first series that we saw in Amiga on Mirage. Same map, same side. Struggled to get going, but eventually brought it to a close in the decider. Of course, that was the first map. This is the second. Passion just need 10 more rounds, and that is it. They will be through to tomorrow, or the rest of the close qualifier, I should say.
All sorts of people being locked towards the A site. Issa first in his power. Pistol, 2 pack of punch. You've got to be careful, especially when they're all stacked together. But quickly dismissed a 3. And the threat, yet again, removed from this round. JiJieHao sticks the landing with the C4. Bibu, AK once more, but he will get out of dodge, or at least try to. Mirage feels like a different breed to D2, doesn't it, Harry, for the Passion UA Arsenal? Just a lot more confident, we're seeing a lot more early engagements. Feel like the teamwork, it's just clicking that little bit more. And so far, since the pistol, that spark has been there for Passion UA to just keep on going.
It is an Arsenal indeed. Zinchenko's organisation. Alexander Zinchenko is the Arsenal man. Spending his time playing football in North London, for those who don't know. The Premier League footballer, Premier League winner, not with Arsenal, of course. And Passion will be hoping that they don't finish second in this game either, because that means elimination.
Going to say, on the topic of Zinchenko, could have picked a better club, but I respect it. And it's nice to see that a lot of the names are involved, like a lot of the footballing and even just traditional sports now.
Yeah.
A lot of the players, staff, whatever, getting behind this. You know, he's not one of one anymore, but it feels like a lot more in the picture.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, another Ukrainian footballer as well, Ilya Zabani, currently at Bournemouth, but touted with PSG. Also an ambassador for Requiem, the local Ukrainian org. But while all that's going on, it's the one on your screens that we've got to be thinking about. Passion UA, double entry towards the A side, Bomb quick pivot towards B. With Mini stationed in short and 2 players not too far off market. Ability to fortify this space falls to Bibu, and what a shot that is on the cross from Apartments. Orb doing its job, and Passion ground to a halt. They stall out on the site execution. It felt like they were in a great position to make this 5, but JiJieHao put the bodies in the right place, and they've done the talking.
Money is still pretty well built up for the T side. Only playing Casmo, even then he can get a drop in the next round, or at least shouldn't be much of a worry from Kven's near $5,000 account. Zenka deciding a save would have been the best option if Issa wasn't chasing him down as harshly. Probably would have gotten away with the premium rifle. Instead dropped to the grounds at the mouth of Palace. 4-1, JiJieHao etch in there first. But as you say, Passion UA short, off the pulse a little bit, but we know, especially at the start of D2, they managed to turn that around quite quickly and quite easily. So, job is far from done if you're a JiJieHao fan.
Little time to converse for either side. So Locust are right back in, and already a little bit of presence being shown by Passion. Top mid, smoke to help the cross. Topa will find himself now playing just meters away from Chair. The next players on the Passion side to get into position, Kvem, moving up from underpass. And now, with that scaling in place, Passion can begin to make a decision as to where they want to intensify their efforts. While all this is happening, Demka has been in Palace for the majority of the round, so the expected outcome would be A. Still 3 CTs in position.
You have such good information and some strong pinching possibility. Now that you know jungle's clear, you've got a player in con, 2 in ramp, 1 that's able to pinch him from Palace as well. This is dangerous. Yes, it's a 5v5, but so many bodies are able to help with this play that JiJieHao are going to get overwhelmed the moment Passion pull the pin, or at least should.
Sitting idle for a moment longer as that Molotov, the glass shattering as the Molly flood sandwich is all that we get to hear, but quickly Mini cracks the whip. Kvem one back, Samus the next. The cross is dotted across the A site with the one exception of the player drop middle. Samus is blinded in the corner. Warwick can't find his shot. The dink puts him on death's door. And Samus will kick him over the threshold for good measure. Demka started the round in Palace, and he very well may finish it there. Because JiJieHao, despite the fact that they got pushed backs to the wall, have found a way to defend their site and then some.
Yeah, my bad for lying to you. I guess...
I was right there with you. I was right there with you. Passion played the round perfectly. It was set up for the execution. Just the timing, the spacing, not quite there.
I don't know, it feels quite underwhelming now, doesn't it? I don't think what I said was wrong. They had players in con, they had a player in ladder holding jungle, 2 people on ramp, even a Palace push. Like, every position could be covered by 2 different angles, other than CT maybe, but even then, the Palace player can swing wide. So, it's just a very interesting situation to be in, but life goes on. An eco, and that is again Boros. Samus gets 1 back, in fact 2. It's collecting more bodies. Topa.
I mean, Passion have certainly put a high priority on mid control, as you should on T-side Mirage. A pivot point gives you more options, opens things up later into the round. Of course, it's just a means to an end there on the eco. Hit and hope, see if anyone's willing to give you a peek onto one of those deegs. It's not much further past the post of just that 1 kill. They were to go for this A-site execute look again as we see them start to queue up top mid once more with Topa. I would like the mid players to get a little bit more active. Create pressure that makes it easier for the main side to get out, but actually it is just 5 players on this side of the map this time around. 4 plus the detached Jacasmo, I should say, now slowly working his way through apartments as B looks like the site under threat for JiJieHao this time.
Oh dear, Mini. Molly and his people still collects. He's got to move out of apps here. Danger zone on the B site. Eyes avert gaze towards kitchen. They've got to focus that one. Anyway, put the screws back on the JiJieHao side.
1 already is a success, but can Passion take this 1 step further and win the goddamn thing? Down to the last 3 players, and they are not looking healthy. More HE damage, but Kvem still continuing to find kills. There's a dink in there. Samus down to 17. Issa, the only one left now. And that target-rich environment has very quickly fallen flat. JiJieHao are sent smouldering from the round as Passion have blitzed right through them. 5-3, 2-round advantage restored for the Ukrainian side.
Two-round deficit. Look at the money being spent here from JiJieHao. Came in with stacks of cash now on the verge of bankruptcy. Both sides in a similar situation now. This is a good opportunity for JiJieHao to get back into the game. Set that bank account to 0 for the T side. Same can be said, extend that lead, stretch their legs in the attacking portion of this map. Flashes plenty out towards that.
From another opening kill. Entry on A, Topa behind it. Just doesn't stop. Wax on, wax off. Passion UA in and amongst it. JiJieHao sent reeling. No way back into this retake. The site executes have looked pretty good on the whole, with the exception of round number 4, I believe it was. But now up to 6. An even half guaranteed, but you get the feeling that Passion will be in for a whole lot more.
Terrorists win.
No, AWP.
Yeah.
Availability for 1. That's so weird. They get so close to hunting all of those players down and shooting them all. And then literally at the final hurdle, they just post up. It's strange. It is strange.
It's also important to contextualize this map a little bit more for Passion as well, because we speak about a map pick, how much does that really mean? Mirage for them is a first selection almost 70% of the time when teams aren't vetoing it out. And you don't have to look too far back in terms of some of their biggest wins that we've seen. A 13-1 against Fnatic only 2 months ago. And that, an 11-1 T-sided half. So they've got their favourites, and they've proven that they can do it, even against the deserters from the Passion side that we had before. Both Fear and Jambo. No better answer to the question of how will they, perform without them if they can do it against them.
Only a couple more left in this first half. Passion UA has a set of chance to stretch their legs. Winning more and more. A heavy save is not set. The JiJieHao economy. Further. Bottom con just swings wide. Probably sticks to his word. I will fight con, I will get the entry. It's another gift wrapped for the Ukrainian side. Now keep having a look here. JiJieHao in the way that they can get back into this round. Waro 2K getting dropped by Boros. Apparently Topa had something to do with the frag as well, as he gets an assist onto his teammate. Bomb coughed up in spawn. There is no pressure made by the CT side to keep a hold of it. Instead, looking to re-clear, make sure that there's no deep read that the CT side can have. But then they've got to pick their poison. And all of that's got to happen within 40 seconds here. It's not the most amount of time to get every chore off the list done. Topa fighting short. Solo adventure ends in misery.
It's great work from Bibu. This JiJieHao side does still have a feeling of individualism about it. In terms of the micro, the smaller details, who's chipping in where, it is Bibu doing the heavy lifting right now. Another kill for him, second on the round. And the Palace position opened up by Boros means that Kvem is left alone in middle. This one is a tough pill to swallow. Indigestible. Yeah. Passion UA will concede. The deficit is reduced to a 2-round scoreline yet again. The possibility to extend that advantage will be made to wait longer. As the CTs were able to hold on to some guns coming into it, that all came back to the save that they had made. And it only takes one. you feel at times to get them in this.
I think this timeout needs to be used as time to sort of point a finger and motivate in that sense. You look at that previous round, we had, with 40 seconds left, 2 players that actually focused on getting the objective back. A player that just ran up short on his own, a player that fought apps on his own. Just felt very individualistic when it didn't need to be. You just group up and go together, 4v4. You know, numbers dictate if there's 2 sites, there's 3 channels in a map, you know, A, mid and B. It's not exactly like you're going to be fighting 4v4 to take a site. Instead, they kind of just let them lose the round by thinning the numbers themselves. No threat to the defense. Now more to the point, there could have been 3, 8-4 half. Still very much in limbo where it could all end 6-all.
Woro's got something to say about it. Plenty of damage onto Issa, finally finished off. B-play coming in simultaneously, unsupported by the mid player who's slowly moving his way on up. Krem doing absolutely everything, still hitting haymakers, shots out of nowhere. The HE should claim his life though. And Mini can fall back onto his old trusty AWP to clean up anything else of the round. That's Woro. He's the one in the hot seat. The long road back to that B site, whether he watched the rest of his team fall. Now he has to try and do what they couldn't.
A solo adventure now has to turn into a monumental clutch. Maybe not so much in terms of the spectacle, but more for the gravity of this half. First found, 1 minute to go. Mini peeks out with the AWP and will stop it dead in its tracks before it gets a little too scary for anyone's liking. 6-5, last of the half. As I said, it's the perfect opportunity now to tie the game. And after the first set of 12, it feels a bit disappointing for the Ukrainian side.
Mini has definitely added a touch of class and composure to these situations. His AWP, not often you will see it miss a shot, a round-winning shot more importantly. It does come down to the 1v1 though, especially for JiJieHao. Plenty of weapons at their disposal. The same can't be said for Passion. Topa gets melted as he steps out into the sunlight on the A site. When it comes to nades, as soon as you make that investment, it has to land. The commitment has been made. Passion 10 toes down on the A site. Kvem clearing out. Demka going up under his own molly. Forget the 2K, there's a 1G in the server. As Issa is the next to take the limelight. He won't exactly meet the stage with grace. Goes down under the massive weight of Kvem, who has been monumental so far for Passion. You look across the scoreboard, and no one else is featuring anywhere near as heavily as him. People stepping away, but you can't save here. This is the last chance that you'll get, and it's stolen. 7-5 again. Passion in front once more. we're back. The second half of Mirage up for you in just a second. Passion UA leading JiJieHao by 2 rounds. Another 7-5. Another pistol round. They've won every single one so far, the Ukrainians. Could they possibly walk away with 4 for 4?
It's been the strongest suit and one of the reasons that they are winning this series and ahead on the map. MR12, it's such a lethal game. Having a pistol round go your way, you know, yes, it's the exact same in terms of, you know, you're against an eco, maybe it's 2, maybe 3 rounds that you get to win off the back of it, but, you know, in MR15, that's only 20% of the half. Now you're looking at 25-30% of the half, depending on how deep it goes, right? So, it's scary stuff, man. A pistol really would pull these two apart should JiJieHao take it. They should be in for a very interesting end to Mirage. We were lied to. Apparently we're not ready. Unlucky.
Unlucky indeed. I don't know. I don't want to... And we are ready. Okay, yeah, I was going to say I don't want to even think about throwing to a break because you know exactly what happens then. We're back to the game. Fortunately enough for us. And for JiJieHao, who have been given ample time to prepare for this pistol round. What do? Rush B. 5 players, straight into apps. Happy days.
Hey man, sometimes the best remedy is the most simple one. Let's see if this will cure the deficit, or if they are going to be infected by this pistol takeover. A bomb has just been dropped in apartments. Passion UA, a severe blow to the JiJieHao HP. A second kill found by the T side. It's all tit for tat, 1 for 1 until Waro 2K alongside Kvem take over in apartments. And Harry, your wish is their command.
Sure.
4 for 4 in pistols. It has been dominant all series long.
And that round feels like exemplary preparation. There's no other way to put it. It looked like really good ante. 2 HEs ready to get tossed into apartments at a moment's notice as soon as the pop came through. Someone we haven't spoken about yet is the coaching staff on Passion UA. TC joining up with them. Coach who spent most of his time in the NA circuit with teams like C9 and Complexity up until the start of the year. It's definitely been a important factor for them up until this point.
Yeah. And another unsung hero that probably doesn't get any mention, Munster joining them as assistant coach. Obviously, a lesser known name than TC, but has been a coach since 2022. Was on Gamer Legion as an analyst in 22 to 23. Joined FlyQuest Red as the coach for just under 2 years, about 1.5 years, and then has been at Passion UA since the 26th of the 9th, 2023. So he's been here a little while now, and definitely got some reps under his belt. Romanian assistant coach here to help greatly and alleviate even more of that pressure from the likes of Passion UA. And, you know, we want some anti-strat done. No worries. We have more members on the case and spend more time refining your own craft. And that separates the good from the great in events like this, where it's so cutthroat when you need to win BO3s, otherwise you're just kicked out in an instant. All the time spent refining your own craft helps. Right now, it needs a little more fine-tuning, though. They are 3v4.
3v3 though, and JiJieHao has continued to even out the numbers. Does favour the T slightly. Mini on the site has a chance to get the bomb plant in, but the smoke from stairs removes all security. Demka bearing on down already now, arriving at the ticket booth. Thinking about punching his and Passion UA's into the second stage of this closed qualifier. A very disciplined position and a difficult one to clear. Issa does have a molly And you expect that to get chucked in before the bomb plant comes through. The safety of the smoke, maybe it is the head spotted, but Demka has his retribution. HE for a quick clear over the top, spots the player Palace, and that's the rotation. Topa only on 14 HP, but the drive by Dink might have just done it. Double digits on the tip of their tongue. Passion UA closing in on a half-dead Issa, and it's the spam for extra safety. A well-executed 2v2.
10-5, 3 to go for JiJieHao. This is what I mean, it's so cutthroat even when you want to have it all figured out. Stage 1, the most savage. At least in stage 2, you're on the double Elim bracket, your 2 chances to play plenty of Counter-Strike here. Turn up for 1v03 and you might just have your bags packed for you.
Straight back in the saddle, JiJieHao making the A approach. Samus, it's 1, but Horo's up is equal to it. Hot flash around the corner, still trying to fight CT here to give themselves any kind of an advantage. JiJieHao end up running themselves into the ground. 2-on-2 as Mini has nailed yet another shot, and with the shoulder peak, Woro is out of options and out of bullets. The USP is drawn, and the MAC-10 beats that every day of the week. It's on to Demka now. To try and gap close a little bit here, but it's the player default that continues to evade him. Now behind the smoke is Bibu looking the wrong way. Mini makes sure that JiJieHao don't slip any further out of this game.
Really nicely done. An effective win, deficit now 4. And the money in pretty poor shape. Topa has opted to drop the AWP over to Woro. I don't know if that is the most sensible decision considering everyone else is on the eco. Basically just told him, yeah, give me the big green and you'll be on an MP9 in the next round. Gotta fight fire with fire though, and the AWP can be round defining. Can't even hear a pin drop right now, it's so silent. Towards window.
Yeah.
Just inch by inch the control being taken by the T side.
Silence is pleasant to the ears of Passion because it had allowed for Demka to make his way all the way through Palace towards A. Still wants to retain this position for the possibility that players mid soon find themselves on his side of the map. But he'd be hard pressed to find any more luck as the bomb is already creeping up the catwalk into the position of Topa. Only a pistol in hand. The problem point is the AWP. And that is elsewhere. Woro has a long rotation to make through CT spawn. The setup for Passion is on A, but B is the site under fire. Woro has managed to find a player on short in the meantime. So Samus is lining up this volley. Topa's only just got out into position and managed to find a dink in the meantime. Woro and Topa both going down though. Demka's cute positioning near the start of the round doesn't really materialize in the end. Boris hanging back to catch the straggler, and he does. Just 3 now between the teams.
Three to go for Passion UA to take this series. 3 to go. Stop. for JiJieHao, good start for Kvem, but his life short-lived. Blasphemous. To claw back that early deficit. Hitchy dropped right on the head of Boros. The pass. Today's being dropped right now. Bibu just away from her head clean. Taken off. Waro, Famas in response, upgrades to the M4 3v3. JiJieHao, it's a wild swing connector, and one he'll be punished for, but his teammates here for support until we overstay our welcome. Mini versus Waro. 1 versus 1.
Already barely anything in this round. Boros probably should have found the kill in window. Just slipped off of the bench at the exact incorrect timing. It's a little bit of movement error. Passion continue to fight the space. Now it is only Mini. But we have seen him do ridiculous things with this AWP before. Turn water to wine. And this round should be no different. Waro, one of the better performers on Passion. Both him and Kvem have been that driving force up until this point. But now this for 11. And Mini offered the safety of default to plant the bomb. Crossing out into Waro's crosshair. Damage but no kill. And if you can't find that final bullet, then Mini may just make you rue the mistake. The one that gets away. He's into CT. Still planted for him. No kit on Waro. Has to land the shot. And the peak is quick and sharp as ever.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he has a name tag on his M4A4, and it's What the Sigma. That's hilarious. 11-7. My reaction's exactly. Doesn't get the AWP, but it's a round well worked. And that is a beautiful shot to end it. Passion UA halting the progress of JiJieHao. Yes, a bomb plant. It might just keep them going for a little bit longer. I feel like that 11th round more or less seals what is the inevitable. Then again, we did nearly just see a 2-11 comeback, so I guess
that's true.
Anything is possible.
But with all due respect, JiJieHao, they ain't mates. And it's funny because no one probably knows, just from the name, what exactly that entails. But the point still stands. Elimination on the line. JiJieHao scaring down the barrel. Boros trading out his teammate through spawn. JiJieHao falling at the expense of it. 3 versus 4 situation, and with those JiJieHao players stacked up on site, Passion will just hand this one over. A formality. You look at the money, it doesn't best suit making risky maneuvers like this, and with them being just 2 rounds off, an extra life in the system, probably not wanting to have their AWP take fights like that, but they've lost it now. So what can you do?
Terrorists win.
Gotta suck it up and move on, I guess, but that is, as you say, a big financial hit to what is already a dwindling economy. And just as quick as I count them out, they are right back in the contest. 3-round deficit is resumed, but it's the buy of the CT side that's the bigger concern. Scout, 2 M4s, FAMAS, and a 5-7. The pick and mix investment to try and push them into a 12.
Topa looking for it. Mini gives him an answer. And it's not a nice one if you're Passion UA. Open. It takes a moment for Izzy to get his eyes on. Boros through underpass has been the saving grace a few times already in this half, as has Bibu. He gets to work simultaneously with an A play coming in, but no bomb. The carrier Elsewhere, Mini still hanging on to life with 15 points of health. Will take his time and wait for Bibu to arrive before they challenge this 2 players strong.
.45 on the clock as well.
And had Demka put himself in that position moments sooner, not wanting to sit idly, it would have been the perfect proactivity, as Bibu most likely would have been caught on the cross, but this silence has not been serving them so well. Now Passion, bomb plant coming in, and only now the realization will be made.
Got a hit. They've just got to determine if it's worth going for. I guess have a prod and a poke. If
Volley
you
on
can find
Demka.
either of these players, then yes, absolutely, and especially with one being so low, it's doable. Molly, as you say, but it's a brute force attempt. JiJieHao spotted. 1v2 for Demka, hits the first, needs another, spots him, has a molly. This is going to be enough. The swing has to be instant from him. If not, he will die to the flames. He tries his best. He shall not succeed. The question would be, is there enough time? But of course there is. Well calculated for Demka. Knew that this one was winding down. The incendiary, as you mentioned, Harry, was the key factor to it all. And it is map series stage 2 points for the Passion UA side.
It's brilliantly played by Demka. And even that situation on the surface doesn't look like the most favourable, but if you've got JiJieHao on the scout, he's happy to take that angle on the edge of the smoke because you can immediately trade it with the rifle. Molly doing its job, Mini in the corner, writing was on the wall. To start off this round, he's already eating some more flames.
HG. Not the AWP, however. Playing whack-a-mole in window. It's the first, a dink of them low.
Ooh.
That's a little
With
bit.
a jump up.
Oh no, that's really not
Boros
good.
again! How many times mid-round have you seen him pop up with big kills? Still 4 rounds to gap though. What this really is would be to keep JiJieHao in the game. The organisation which first broke out into the Chinese scene, but of course has quickly found its place in MENA instead. The bomb arriving towards B, but look at apartments. Topa is there with the MP9. Just takes this one engagement to go his way, and that might have been the House of Cards tumbling apart, but instead it is JiJieHao catching every single timing that they need to off the back of it. Demka can hold on to that AK. The chances for Passion to close in regulation are down to 3.
Yeah, I know it's a 5-man roster in Counter-Strike, but I feel like their defense is so weak. It feels like there's nobody on the map. A player's just been boosted into jungle. They get the opening kill. Fantastic. 5-on-4. A tag up to connector. You're down to 30 points of health. You know that there's the AWPer there. Boros kills the rifle instead. Different player entirely. Okay, sure. I know that there's going to be a second player lurking jungle. And Passion UA just have no response to the CT smoke. The B player is left hanging all by himself on a desert island. Of course, Topa eventually has to go for the swing because he knows he can be flanked out. And, I mean, what, 1 kill in jungle and a smoke towards CT has completely unraveled the entire defense. Demka saves his rifle for everyone else, using the last few pennies in the account to buy any piece of util, any SMG, any sidearm. It's not good. And as you say, that gap, what felt so strong, crippled back down to 3. But it now is 3 in a row. There is no second chance. There is no other offering that JiJieHao can take. It has to be 3 consecutive from here on out.
Okay. Oh, he's battered and bruised from every angle. Who else other than Boros to have found the pick which JiJieHao needed? Middle has been an oasis for this side, and Boros is drinking his fill. Mini's equally consistent. B is open for the taking. They've paved the way through. JiJieHao set up for double digits. There is nothing really to save in this round for Passion than the Kevlar on their chests. No extra weapons. No seasoning to the second chance they will get, because that's exactly it. 2 more chances now. JiJieHao really want to push this the distance, and I have to say, Ryan, taking a step back, we have been blessed with the games that we've had so far today.
Been very exciting ones. Yes, maybe not so much the level of storylines of the like of Liquid being knocked out, the likes of 9 being knocked out.
Terrorists win.
Fnatic's going the distance. We've got a banger of a game here on the D stream. Fnatic going toe-to-toe with ESC, which of course is the Polish squad. Raiko, Samey, Badgme.
Yeah.
A lot of underdog stories currently happening, and JiJieHao fighting to have their name added to that list.
Fnatic challenging them in the meantime. That ESC side you were talking about are the Ukrainian representation. Looking to see themselves on the Stockholm stage. Stage 2 for now. So close, yet so far for Passion. The next round is pistols, as the last was. This is your free pass, your go at somehow striking 13 rounds. Bring something to the table. A bait and switch perhaps. Not before Boros has his double, as he always tends to do.
He's really stepped up in this second half, hasn't he? I feel like we didn't say much of his name at all in the first 12, and the later this game's going, the more he seems to be feeling the server, the game, the confidence needed.
Sure.
For these kinds of fights.
That's the role.
Go on, sorry.
Very quickly, that you want to see him take on this team as well, as one of the sort of few players from the Middle East that had made it to a tier 1 level and really shown up. I should say, that's completely incorrect actually, but you know, one of the first players to break out from his region. It just wasn't to be. We all know how Falcons went. It's well documented.
Yeah.
Obviously got other players that
Oh, wow.
compete, such as Spinks, for example. But it's few and far between. And I think with him having that kind of quality coming into this lineup at the very least, you were sort of expecting him to be the one leading the charge. And finally, we're getting a bit of it here. Issa, Bibu, Mini, all of them doing work. I feel bad for excluding everyone except Osama, so he does get double digits eventually. As JiJieHao reach 11 at long last.
This is it.
24 rounds to be played. Is there an overtime at the end of the tunnel?
Technical pause before we jump back into the action, and the point that I was going to raise though is that JiJieHao have kind of lived in the shadow of Passion UA this map, haven't they? I mean, you want to go pound for pound with Boros and Kvem, maybe the 2 most promising individuals from either side, and Kvem is towering over the kill count. You want to have a look at maybe the AWP head-to-head, Mini versus Waro, and Waro again, yeah, sure, only by a little bit, a couple of kills. It's towards the bottom end that's making the bigger difference, right? You obviously mentioned Bibu, Issa, even Osama's hitting double digits. It's like Topa's just hit double, JiJieHao 1 kill in front of him, Demka 15 and 12. It's not so much the fight at the top half, it's actually the team game that have given JiJieHao this opportunity. The fact that there are multiple players fragging out round by round that's the struggle that Passion UA have ran into. It feels like we're always saying, oh, you know, this person's got to come up with a clutch, this person's just found a multi-kill. You can't be having that. Consistency's a big thing.
For sure. Important to remain consistent on the narrative front as well, of course. I forgot to mention Flamesy, another player who finds himself in that bracket.
Yeah, there is a lot of players, honestly. The Israeli scene has spewed out in the past few years. Obviously, NIP had Blue Phoenix. You've obviously got Flamesy, I do believe his brother, Shushan. I think, you know, if you really wanted to do your homework, there's probably a lot of up-and-comers as well, but just in terms of namesake at the top flight, or, you know, that have lingered at the top of Tier 2, Tier 1, Counter-Strike. Yeah, there's plenty. I mean, you've got Heavy God as well, not forget him on G2. You've got Nertz, another big name that we've just completely missed out on that list. And
Yeah.
Narquez, Spray, obviously now the assistant coach of NIP. And I mean, you talk about, you know, players from Jordan. Boros basically the only one at this point. Players from Lebanon, Mini, and then Vital, who plays on CS2 News Ladies, I do believe. I mean, you even go further down the list, the Samus, one of two notable Palestinian players, according to Liquipedia. It's the list is short.
It is. And before we end up throwing this to a break, which I think we probably will, another Lebanese AWPer who Mini's following in the footsteps of, Calypso. Now that's an old name. I don't know if you may remember him or not.
I don't even. So if someone knows, if someone's on the same wavelength as you, you've really unlocked the doldrums of the Counter-Strike
maybe if you know, you
library.
know. If you know, you know. And I think most people can tell by now we are stalling for time. We're going to head to a short break. Short, I hope. When we return, the final round of regulation between Passion UA and JiJieHao. Alright, we made you wait, but it's here. 12-11. Series point for Passion UA. Stage 2 point if they want to move on to the double elimination section of the EPL Season 22 qualifier. They've got a bye beneath them, but Mini's got an orb, and that's a problem. Waro2k finds himself dead in the window. JiJieHao with all of the nades, utility behind them. Krem feels like his hands are tied. He's got to force a play. Boros has him slip the net right beneath him. As Topa sprays away, trying to do something. It's desperate. We're going to overtime.
I was going to say, if we have a 3-minute break now, I was not going to be happy. Just take a 5-minute tech to put us back in. But no, do not worry. Straight into the action. It is OT. It is now 1st to 16. JiJieHao, massive comeback. Really nicely done.
Yeah.
Is their time to now take over of Mirage. Plenty of opportunities gifted to the Passion UA side, just not been able to convert that 13th and final. Will JiJieHao teach them a lesson?
Passion UA still on the CT side for now as Boros backs up behind the smoke. That's the least aggressive we've seen him so far when it comes to fighting middle. Complete change of pace from JiJieHao in the first round of OT.
Yeah, I mean, one round they don't fight for mid. Look at this. They just they try and fight fire with fire. Kvem and Demka all the way up mid.
It's like they forgot how they got here in the first place. We're at OT. What happens now? Kvem, the timing, it's a little off, but he still gets one. Boros back to middle, back to business. Osamas as well. And the A take staggered as the bomb is still at top mid.
Well, this is the confusing bit because you've got 35 seconds. Like wherever you go, it's going to be quick.
And there are no more smokes. So as soon as these dissipate, that's it. You're out in the open air fighting for the rest of the round. 2 more players coming up ramp now, but 20 seconds or so discounting that bomb plant. Through the gap, Waro has managed to spot at least one player. That's Bibu. Now out from Palace is Issa. Big opening kill from the stairs, but Topa still holding on to the line. 10 seconds, and the bomb just about goes in. Waro misses his shot on reprisal to the site. The flash lands square in his face. So, despite the theatrics and the way in which JiJieHao approached this round, differing the majority of their strategy up until this point. Hold on. It looked like they had it in the bag, but Waro, C clutches pulled off. Not against Mini's AWP. It will be 13 for JiJieHao.
Yeah, Mini's impact skyrocketing there. Last round of Reg kills Waro with the AWP. First round of OT. Yet again, the AWP engagement going his way. A little bit of typing going on. And the round is not live, so... Oh, is it? What's going on? No. Alright. Not to worry. Someone on Passion UA is not moving in spawn is my best guess. One of Demka or... No, it is Demka. Maybe a crash of sorts, but we'll get that resolved and back into the game shortly.
Yep.
I think one of the points that I wanted to bring up is the fact that obviously for Kvem's case, we were talking about him and his impact in this series. I had a quick check on HLTV before we started the day because he's had a great few months playing Counter-Strike. Obviously the last 6 of them at Passion UA, but we knew his performance and his attitude previous to this stint. He's the 10th highest rated player in the last 3 months, which is all the team's minimum 30 maps. A 1.23. He has played some exceptional Counter-Strike in the last few for Passion. But even when he's 24 and 16, it feels like it still isn't enough.
I know what you mean. Kind of hoping that someone else can show up in a big way for Passion. It would be Waro. 20 and 20. Here's AWP, hits the server.
We try again.
We do, and so do Passion. I think the big struggle point for them right now is this mid control. We've seen a couple different approaches, wanting to try and fight aggressively top mid. Or just give it up, and I think neither have really worked too successfully. This time, we're gonna get Kven tucked in the underpass with a little bit of info there going his way, hearing the tick of the molly. Demka moving short. HE landing, 2 players spotted by Topa, a smoke at his feet, and JiJieHao are away into the site, fresh out the blocks. If Topa can get one, second on the transfer. Bibu with a quick trade 3-on-3. JiJieHao have approached the site, but the bomb is yet to cross, and Waro had a chance to deny the plant. He's yet to take it. Fell on the bin, goes up in smoke, and Bibu punishes. That's the numbers. JiJieHao now a man in front. Passion forced to dive through a wall of smoke, which doesn't look to dwindle anytime soon.
That was only just put up as well. They go for a boost. They try and get a read into this site. Waro sees nothing. Can't do much. Such an isolated position, as you say. He is not interested. JiJieHao will follow suit shortly. It's a bitter way to go. Topa's efforts, 2 kills from the apartment spot, isn't enough. Yet again, Passion plays on defense left short change. 2 players died to the bomb, both wearing yellow. But the round repercussion still stands. 14-12. Already halfway to success on their opponent's selection of JiJieHao at OT.
And it's so mentally tough for Passion as well when JiJieHao have been stoking the embers of this comeback into a full-blown fire. And you still have to be playing these CT rounds, searching for that answer. You don't get a break in play. There hasn't been a timeout. You don't want to reach the side swap with map point for your opponent when you had a chance to put the series in the bag not too long ago. It can be crushing, especially if they're then forced to play train our decider.
Yeah, it's becoming less of an if and more of a when, isn't it?
In the back of their minds, would
decent.
probably have been wondering what to do with the rest of the evening, but we'll focus on the server as Issa has Kven, and that is a problem.
Another 5v4 up. End of that is Topa. Molly, the orb holding the angle. Waro eventually cancels Boros out of the equation. The entry frag removed, but it's a B split, one in which Demka requires to find everything. Sees the barrel of the orb. He plays discipline. He's going to all these players. That's the bomb drop. 30 seconds left. He's got to be careful for what's behind him as well. Is he going to look the right way at the right time? He's holding for Bibu. And players keep on being isolated. We said they can't walk away with nothing. They might just walk away with a bare minimum. Issa 1v3. That is a ridiculous move from Demka. But with only 10 seconds left, it was all about buying time. 14-13. JiJieHao only a step in front.
And now Passion get to hit the attack, go on the offensive again. I was just speaking about how that CT side can feel like a slog, but now with a side swap and a little bit of rejuvenated confidence, absolutely no reason why they can't look to steal it away here. We know the magic number is 16 in this first overtime, so JiJieHao just need the one to ensure that we go again.
I'll tell you what, I wish I was counting the amount of times that Mini's got the better of Waro. It just feels like every engagement I watch between the two AWPers, it's Waro that's always dead.
Yeah. Mini has been genuinely unbelievable so far with that AWP. Just 15 deaths by his name as well.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Considering
Least
what we're
casualties in the server.
We're now 28 deep in this map.
And tied for the most kills. The other is fair. He is one of the players outside of A. The first in the firefight, Topa. The point man of the execution. They line up behind him and he fires them forwards. Passion, another dink landed, but still two extra kills picked up sight bound. That's until JiJieHao and Demka hit the scene. 3v2, but the round not wrapped up yet. 14-14 looming over their heads, but it's Bebo between JiJieHao and conceding here. The first couple shots from JiJieHao are stray, but the all-important ones land. A triple kill, which has tied the game.
And the more confident, aggressive Passion UA finding their footing instantly on this T side. See if they can have a repeat of that success. 5th round of OT. 29 in regulation. Or, sorry, in total. In regulation, we played 24.
Yeah.
Still one
on, Ryan.
to
Yeah,
separate these two teams.
CSGO finished a while ago, man. Still
Let a
hanging
man
on to the era.
reminisce.
This guy still thinks he can bunny hop. That's crazy. Shoulder peeking? Not in my game.
I was going to say, I can't even shoot, never mind bunny hop, so...
Just swing. Passion not doing too much of that right now. This round, in and of itself, figuratively speaking, is a swing round. Because whoever wins here gets the opportunity to close. Just the one, of course. It's incredibly tight right now between the teams. And you can feel it in the way that Passion slowly grind their way towards the A side. The volley out, Osamas is dead. Kvem flashed off by Topa, who's managed to help support his team and then some. Kvem is there, as are the rest of Passion UA. They'll be without Waro, but it matters not. The bomb goes in, and JiJieHao have a decision to make. Attempt it 4v2, or save. And that's exactly what happens. Passion will be going in to round number 30 with 15 by their name.
It's as scary as it's ever going to be for JiJieHao. Backs against the wall once before. They managed to tick it all the way over to OT. But now Passion UA gets to be the aggressors. And they have had, it feels like a level up. It feels like a completely different team, in fact. Yeah. Night and day between the two sides. Couldn't piece together anything on the defense. And as soon as they switch back over to this T side, they are squashing any bug in front of them. And now 5 kills away from making it work again. Had this chance a few times before. 3 in regulation, now another one in OT. Is 4 going to be their magic number? Is it? Come on. Oh,
Just had to cut back to the third person POV, make sure that everything was in place. JiJieHao struggling to boost over the window smoke to start, but Mini has had no issue whatsoever. Quick squeeze of the trigger. Oh, what a flick from Mini. Topa made to stew ruin the missed shots from Ladder Room, as JiJieHao now are set up to extend play.
Gonna play Boros out of this ninja position.
There's only one volley to do it.
If it's not thrown there, which it isn't, he is in safe hands. All to play for. It's on a silver platter for him. He'll even swing out before anything goes on. A kill and a dink. It is all on Waro. 1 on 4. He'll try his best, but falls at the first hurdle. We go again into double OT.
Yeah, he's not Cadian, unfortunately. And he won't be qualifying to stage 2 of the Pro League qualifier like that. So 15-15, another overtime is required to settle the score. This is only the second map, may I remind you. There is a very real possibility that JiJieHao take this into the lengths of the night to give themselves half a chance. I'd say probably less than 50% to even qualify for the whole damn thing. But the VRS points are important.
Yes.
They are ranked lower than Passion.
Oh,
Giving them a run for their money right now, and it's Mini once more. Once forth onto the breach, he finds the opening pick and puts Passion down a man before they can even think about what the game plan is. And of course, with Boros in mid as well, the story is as old as the map is becoming as it goes on and on. JiJieHao should be at 16 first.
I don't know. I feel like Mini is just entry connoisseur. There's just not a foot he could put wrong in finding a 5v4. Every round it's been monotonous. Check the kill feed. Who's got the first one? It's Mini. It's always been Mini. And as you say, while 16 isn't the number we're looking for anymore, JiJieHao first to hit it, unless Kvem can pull off a 30-second 1v5. And as much as we've been singing his praises, I don't think this one's looking all too likely. I mean, if he makes a quick dash for B, he could actually find the plant, but now the time is well and truly gone. JiJieHao even going to go hunting after time. Mini closing the gap. M4A and peeks out. Kvem hits another 8 seconds. Lisa will eventually pull the trigger. Scared that Kvem spotted on the turn. A nice attempt, 1v5, and he shuts down 3. But money isn't much of an issue in OT, so it was only for the style points. JiJieHao, 1 in front.
Now the prerogative for Passion is load up these rounds on the T side, because that's what they were able to do before. Chance to close the previous OT the same way that they did multiple series points on their CT side in regulation. Proactivity from JiJieHao. How far does Asamas want to try and take this? There's a smoke right in front of him. Boros already on the other extremity, getting himself deep into apartments. But JiJieHao pulls the plug right in front of the TV screen. That's Boros gone. So important on the rifle. Mini still standing, but a much deeper position than we've seen from him typically. Same will be said for Passion as we cross the minute mark. Yet to really make a dent on this A side, where JiJieHao do have the majority of their players. Quick bait and switch. Asamas on the corner of ramp, set up. Bomb still slowly creeping through mid. What is the plan for Passion? The A push left unsupported until the final few seconds. And there's a set of smokes up, but it almost blocks them from getting into the site. It's a Mini. There they go. Waro 1 back. 2 on 2. Still hanging in this Passion, but Mini has yet to have been dealt with It's that one-on-one, AWP v AWP. Mini hasn't missed a beat. Woro struggled to survive his counterpart so many times. He will flash. And with the first shot taken, nothing else found. Straight in for the plant. Mini to the angle as Woro looks to slip away. HE chases him up, still 100 HP.
He slips all the way back to Tetris. Woro's got some angle, he sees the body, hits the shot. 16-16. Eventually, Woro's AWP winds up for greatness. And it will tie things up before we head into our third round of our second OT.
I don't believe it. Woro on the receiving end, how many times? But in the 1 versus 1, given a fair floor to demonstrate his own skills. Just that one bullet matters, nothing else. 16 all, back to middle, and back to Boros. Basics for JiJieHao. Topa with his 26th death of this game. Not been easy at times. But Passion will remain vigilant. I don't know how many times they've gone 4v5, but they've won enough of them to still be in the game, so here we are.
Kvem is going to be in a world full of hurt if he decides to go. Peeking his head from off the pass, going for a double lead, but it's quite sure from the window player, and it costs them both of their lives. Demka, huge shot onto the bottom con push. Second player on short, fall away, and that's into the jaws of JiJieHao. Huge damage from him as well. 4 on 2, 35. The bomb just has to make it to B.
Passion have so many capable riflers, and in an instant they change the outcome of the round. Who does scout Boro in middle, but Mini needed that shot to make it 2 on 2. To give any kind of half chance to the CT side in what is the final round of the first half of OT, the second OT. Passion will be leading it. Heading out of this one. 19, the magic number. Okay, people. Sure, just let us sit with that one for a moment, as the conclusion is foregone. 17-16, Passion again leading.
Not by much, and you've got to think how much of an uphill battle the CT side was for the Passion UA side. The Ukrainian squad really struggled with this half, at least in the first OT.
But they have remained vigilant. Almost a 70% win rate on this map, with 30 times played. The stats speak for themselves, and it's not like Passion playing low-tier teams. Glitch Masters event that they won, Fnatic, NIP, Metasport, 9, Ecstatic, all in attendance. Joke about them as you will. It's not easy to maintain that kind of stat line, especially on a map which so many teams are happy to play. It takes a whole lot more to actually master it. Topa starting the round on the CT side. This is for series point again.
Yeah.
And having cleared out all of apps, all of underpass, there's so much space to be cleared by JiJieHao. If they even want to think about going towards B, let alone heading A later on.
Well, Passion UA have been forced out of windows so much that they've just decided to play from the sides. You can see they're tucked from con, they're tucked from shore. They want nothing to do with it. Topa's deep in at shore. 40 seconds left. There's going to be two defenders on this side. It's an unorthodox one where both of them play towards apartments. Warren's needs to hit the shot and doesn't. Drops the throw. This might screw Topa over. It doesn't matter. He's dead before they even get out. Boros trying to get through the murder hole. Kvem will have to hold it.
Kvem already tagged low. The shot between the eyes from Boros means it's all but over. Warren, the last line of defense, the last man that can give Passion their 18th here and now. So much work already done, and Demka back in another clutch. Could he be the man? Already one deep into the 1v3. A love tap. Information collected on his position from Market. And a single flash to be the catalyst to make the play happen, but Issa is ahead of it, right around the curve. 17 all, tied game again.
I know pressure can be a big thing in these situations, but I just don't know why Passion UA go swinging Boros in the murder hole. You're giving probably the best, if not the second best aimer between him and Kvem, the chance of just isolating 1v1s and taking 50-50 fights. It's never a 50-50 against Boros. He'll always have the edge. And so what they do is, because they sacrifice so much towards that murder hole position, the B players also have to be careful of what's coming behind them. They have no short help, they have no window help, so they're just stuck, rocking a hard place. And now they suffer the ultimate consequence. It has to be 2 from 2, minimum of one of those to at least run it up again in triple OT.
It's ridiculous. But here we are. The late show could become the late show. It's exactly what JiJieHao want. Couple of shots flying over the head of Topa. May I remind you, while we have a moment, look at these teams. By now, it's probably swiftly approaching midnight, if not past that. So, a real test of stamina before any further games follow up. HE right onto Topa, but not enough to topple him. Kvem has a kill in the meantime. Demka in this double orb setup can stave off the B push a little longer, but the volley brings him down to 2.
He's so damn low. Has to back away. 30 seconds left. Time of the essence once again for JiJieHao. The util good enough that Demka has to wander back into sight. And with only 20 seconds left, talk about cutting fine. It's into the jaws of the ore. Demka nails the first. Waits for the reaction. The short pushes in. Topa big damage, but no frag. Player spotted out at the end of apartments, but it's a change of angling that costs him his life. 7 seconds. The bomb going down. The molly. It's going to deny the bomb plant. Kvem's just won the rapid short. There is no time left. And it is map and series point yet again. Passion UA.
36 kills for Kvem, and it's the utility damage which wins the round. JiJieHao, it was the B site or bust, and they are just one away again from falling here. Passion, this is like their 5th or 6th series point at this point in time.
Number 5.
It has to land, because if it doesn't, map 3 is almost out of the equation. How on earth would you pick yourself up? Maybe you don't have to. Waro and JiJieHao right out the gate. And who is it but Boros on Asamus? Mini and Issa still standing. The foundation of this team yet to be felled, but the bomb is in middle. It's elsewhere. Issa gone 1 by 1. JiJieHao hit the sword and draw blood. They pushed Passion so far, but still the win reserved for the best, and in flawless fashion they might just find 19.
I know you mean the round, but my god, Passion UA, I think they'll know this is anything but flawless. What a grind this has been. 3 chances in regulation, 1 chance in OT1, and another in OT2. 5 opportunities to win this map and in turn the series. And I guess for them, your 5th tries your charm. JiJieHao sent packing. and it is Passion UA that take a step towards ESL Pro League as they make stage 2.
As we are approaching 18 minutes past